The United States has long cast an envious eye towards its northern neighbors. From early proposals to purchase Alaska, to more recent interest in Greenland's mineral wealth, the idea of incorporating these territories has surfaced repeatedly. The United States has always been keenly aware of its geopolitical position. Yet, the vastness of Canada and Greenland, coupled with their strategic location, has always presented a potential vulnerability. In recent years, renewed attention has been focused on the Arctic region, driven by climate change and the opening of new shipping routes. Greenland, with its vast mineral reserves, including rare earth elements crucial for modern technology, has become a focal point of geopolitical competition. The question is, in the current geopolitical climate, could these ambitions transform from mere aspirations into a tangible reality? The hypothetical annexation of Canada and Greenland by the United States would send shockwaves across the globe, dramatically reshaping the geopolitical landscape. The immediate impact would be a seismic shift in power dynamics, with the United States emerging as an undisputed superpower with unparalleled control over North America and the Arctic region. This newfound dominance would have profound implications for international relations, altering alliances and potentially igniting new conflicts. The most immediate consequence would be the absorption of Canada into the American sphere of influence. However, annexation would effectively dissolve Canadian sovereignty, subsuming its political and economic systems into those of its southern neighbor. The annexation of Greenland would further amplify these tensions. The United States, by unilaterally seizing Greenland, would risk provoking a major international crisis. The economic ramifications of a United States annexation of Canada and Greenland would be complex and far-reaching, presenting a mix of opportunities and challenges. On the surface, the integration of these resource-rich economies into the United States might seem like a boon. The United States would gain control over a vast swath of untapped resources, reducing its dependence on foreign suppliers, and potentially creating new industries and jobs. The combined economic power of the three nations would be formidable, creating a North American economic bloc capable of challenging China and the European Union on the world stage. However, this optimistic outlook belies the significant challenges that would accompany such a dramatic shift. Integrating the Canadian and Greenlandic economies into the American system would be a monumental task. The economic benefits of annexation, while potentially significant, would come at a cost, and navigating these complexities would be a major challenge for the United States. Beyond the geopolitical and economic upheavals, the annexation of Canada and Greenland would trigger a profound cultural transformation, particularly within the newly absorbed territories. The imposition of American governance and societal norms onto distinct Canadian and Greenlandic cultures would likely be met with resistance and resentment, potentially leading to social unrest and a backlash against American cultural hegemony. Canadian identity, forged over centuries of distinct history and tradition, would be challenged at its core. The Canadian sense of social responsibility, evident in its universal healthcare system and progressive social policies, would clash with the more individualistic ethos prevalent in the United States. Greenland, with its predominantly Inuit population, would face even greater challenges. The Inuit, with their unique language, traditions, and connection to the land, have long struggled to preserve their cultural identity in the face of outside pressures. The potential for social friction and cultural clashes is high, and managing these tensions would be crucial to ensuring a peaceful and stable transition. Section 5. The People's Response, Public Opinion and Resistance. Public opinion in Canada, Greenland, and the United States would be sharply divided in the face of annexation, with reactions ranging from outrage and resistance to cautious optimism and outright support. In Canada, opposition to annexation would likely be widespread, fueled by a strong sense of national identity and a deep-seated wariness of American influence. Annexation would be seen by many as a betrayal of Canadian sovereignty and a threat to their way of life. Greenland, with its smaller population and history of colonial rule, might see a more nuanced response. While some Greenlanders might welcome closer ties with the United States, particularly if it meant greater economic opportunities, others would fear the loss of their cultural identity and the potential for environmental exploitation. Within the United States, public opinion would be divided along political lines. Conservatives might applaud the move as a bold assertion of American power, while liberals would likely express concerns about the violation of international law and the potential for social unrest. Section 6. Navigating the legal labyrinth, sovereignty, and international law. The legal and political hurdles to annexing Canada and Greenland would be formidable, potentially insurmountable. International law, enshrined in the United Nations Charter and other treaties, unequivocally prohibits the acquisition of territory by force. Any attempt by the United States to annex its northern neighbors would be met with condemnation from the international community and could trigger legal challenges in international courts. Canada, as a sovereign nation and a member of the United Nations, has the right to self-determination and territorial integrity. Annexation, even if framed as a peaceful merger, would require the consent of the Canadian people, expressed through a free and fair referendum. Given the widespread opposition to such a move, it is highly unlikely that Canada would willingly relinquish its sovereignty. Section 7. The long road ahead, political hurdles and negotiations. Even if the United States could overcome the legal and international obstacles to annexation, the political challenges would be immense. Negotiating the terms of such a complex and consequential merger would be a monumental task, requiring delicate diplomacy, political maneuvering, and a willingness to compromise on all sides. In Canada, the annexation debate would dominate the political landscape, potentially leading to the rise of nationalist sentiment and political instability. Within the United States, the annexation process would likely face stiff opposition from both Democrats and Republicans. Section 8. The future of the North. Potential outcomes and long-term effects. The potential outcomes of a U.S. annexation of Canada and Greenland are difficult to predict with certainty, but one thing is clear. The ramifications would be profound and far-reaching, shaping the destiny of North America and influencing the course of global affairs for decades to come. One potential scenario is a successful integration, albeit one fraught with challenges and setbacks. Over time, Canada and Greenland could become fully incorporated into the United States, their economies and political systems subsumed into those of their powerful neighbor. However, this outcome would likely come at a cost, potentially leading to the suppression of cultural identities and the rise of resentment among those who oppose the merger. Another possibility is a protracted period of instability and conflict. Resistance to American rule could ignite armed uprisings, particularly in Canada, where a strong sense of national identity and a history of self-reliance could fuel a protracted insurgency. Section 9. A Continent Transformed, Reflections on an Uncertain Future. The hypothetical annexation of Canada and Greenland by the United States presents a thought-provoking case study in the complexities of international relations, the fragility of sovereignty, and the enduring power of national identity. While such a scenario might seem far-fetched in today's world, it serves as a stark reminder that the geopolitical landscape is constantly shifting and that even seemingly unthinkable events can unfold with surprising speed. The potential consequences of such a dramatic reshaping of North America are vast and difficult to predict with certainty. The economic, political, and cultural ramifications would reverberate across the continent and beyond, impacting the lives of millions and altering the balance of power on the world stage. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to pursue annexation would be a political one, driven by a complex calculus of national interest, ideological conviction, and strategic ambition. The future of the North, like the future of humanity itself, depends on our ability to find peaceful and cooperative solutions to the challenges that confront us.